This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Glazov Gang. Tonight, the Kanye revolution. The left rages as Kanye leads American blacks out of the Democrats' plantation. With us this evening, Will Johnson, the founder and president of Unite America First. Will, what a pleasure and an honor to have you back on the Glazov Gang.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Great to have you, Will. Thank you for all the important and vital and profound work that you're doing.
You know what? I think it's something that we all have to do. You're doing it as well. We're all doing it together.
Thank you, Will. And we're going to get to some of the amazing stuff that you're doing. And right before we do that, to tie in, because this is all interconnected, Kanye's revolution. Now, just recently on Saturday Night Live, which has just become so awful, I just can't watch it, but he did something great. He wore Trump's red Make America Great Again hat on the show afterwards when he came on stage. But he was saying that the producers told him he could not wear it and that they had bullied him backstage. But he came right out and said, they bullied me. They told him, don't go out there with that hat on. And then his famous quote on there that night was, "This mean you can't tell me what to do." So much to talk about there. The left's totalitarianism and telling a human being what hat he can wear and what hat he can't wear. Imagine if they were telling a Muslim person a Muslim woman that she couldn't wear a hijab. Yeah, this is just really crazy stuff. What do you make of all of this?
You know, one of the things that really hit me when he was on SNL, Kanye, was when he said, "I thought this country said I could be who I wanted to be." That's such a profound statement. And they can't even, how can anyone argue that? You know, I mean, that's the whole point. These leftists, these liberals, Democrats, they can be as crazy as they want to be, and no one should say anything otherwise. But as soon as we want to be something that we want to be, when Kanye, you know, when he said it was on SNL, they have an issue with it. And you know what? Good for him for wearing the MAGA hat on SNL, because they hate Donald Trump on that show. Good for him for standing up, for being a strong American doing such a thing.
Thank you, Will. And they also cut it off, too. They cut off what he was saying. It's just incredible. I mean, you know, my family escaped the Soviet Union. Now we've got the Stalinist, Maoist, Khmer Rouge censors here. We've actually got an American being cut off from what he's saying on SNL.
Yeah, absolutely. Mainly because he's a black American. And they don't like the fact that he's waking up other black people in this country. And he's not just waking up black people. He's waking up brown people and white people to leave the Democratic plantation. And, you know, of course, it's not a physical plantation, but it's a plantation that has controlled the minds of the masses in this country. And the way the Democrats are just going about everything now, they're actually in a panic right now for everything that's going on. And they do not want what's happening to be happening. And Donald J. Trump has just completely flipped the system upside down. And Kanye West, he's just expressing himself.
Thank you, Will. And there is a very profound short movie that just came out called Black in America that unveils and exposes and depicts this nightmare of, on some realms, being black in America when you're trying to escape the Democrats' plantation. Now, Will, of course, this is your film, wonderful short film. Is it okay if we play a short clip before we get into it?
Absolutely. Play as much as you want.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to play a short clip, but let's just tell the audience a little bit here. This is a short film you made depicting a black American that you play trying to escape the Democrats' plantation. What inspired you to make this film?
Well, what inspired me is going to all these different rallies that are pro-American, pro-Trump, and it's always the left. It's always the Democrats that's attacking us. You know, every single time I go to a rally, and I've been at some with Annie, that every time we're there, it's always the left that's wanting to throw rocks, bottles, explosives. They're trying to hit us with bats. And sometimes they throw these bottles with urine and feces in them. And they're pretty despicable. And what made me think about it, that when I used to consider myself a Democrat and I would have conversations with conservatives, they never called me these hateful names. They were never violent towards me like this. It wasn't until I became a conservative that they started being violent like this. And this film just expresses everything that I'm seeing that's happened in this country. If you're a black person that wants to leave the Democratic domestic terrorist party.
Absolutely, and it's what Kanye is going through as well that we just discussed, what Candace Owens is going through, so many are going through now. We're going to play a little clip here. There's a torture scene, and this is when Will has been caught by some Democratic operatives that caught him trying to escape the Democratic plantation. Torture scene, and very indicative of what they're saying to him. Let's play it.
Will. White people don't care about you, Will. They're your enemy, Will.
It's not true.
They're your enemy.
It's not true.
Whiteness doesn't care about you, Will.
It's not true. That's what you want me to think.
Your president's racist, Will.
It's a lie.
He hates Mexicans, Will.
It's a lie.
Blacks.
You're a traitor.
Race traitor.
No.
Race traitor. You're a coon. All you had to do was do what you're told, Will. We can't use him.
It's all lies.
He's brainwashed.
You think we're gonna let you walk away, Will? We need your vote.
No.
Wake up! We need your vote, Will. InfoWars, Gavin. You're next, Will. Claim allegiance, Will. The Democrat Party needs you, Will.
Never again.
Claim your allegiance to the Democratic Party, Will.
No.
He's not your president.
Yes, he is.
Wow, some really profound stuff there. Scary stuff, but so real, Will. Now, in this particular clip that we played, they're calling you a race traitor. And they're also throwing a racial insult at you, the C word. Let's just, before we move forward, let's just talk about this a little bit. It's interesting, it's not just black people, it's actually white liberals that feel comfortable calling you that word. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, black liberals, white liberals. I mean, I've had white liberals tell me that I don't even know what it's like to be black. Mm-hmm. And then and it kind of just blew me away. And actually, when I started thinking about it, they're absolutely right. I don't know what it's like to be black. I don't know what it's like to be purple or orange. I know what it's like to be Will Johnson. That's all I know how to be.
Thank you, Will. Now, not also to be crude or to bring up bad words or whatnot, but just to, in case our audience needs an education perhaps on this, and just to give a little bit of historical context, could you just talk about the C word for a minute and why you would be called that by leftists?
Well, leftists call me that because it's basically the coon word. You know, I mean, I've been called a coon, Uncle Tom, race traitor. The latest one, coconut. The latest one has been a unicorn. But they call people these names because they have nothing else to stand on. To be honest with you, I don't even know where the term coon came from. I know it's an old term from back in the day, you know, to refer to a black person like a raccoon. Maybe they're everything else is color except for your eyes are just black. It's just a term to try to be hateful towards people who do not think like them or who get in line with the Democratic domestic terrorist KKK party.
But Will, it's interesting that white liberals, white leftists, actually I don't even want to call them liberals because there's nothing liberal about them. these leftist white fascists calling you these words, but they're not racist. The left is so much against racism, and yet they're very well known to be talking in this way to conservative blacks. Absolutely.
They talk the same way to conservative whites as well. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like I mentioned earlier, that when I considered myself a Democrat and I had heated conversations with conservatives, not any time did they call me a race traitor, not any time did they call me the N-word, not any time did they call me these hateful names. It wasn't until I became a conservative. And the latest one, like I was telling you, the latest one, they called me a unicorn because I had on a Trump hat. And when I have on the Trump hat, they said I'm a unicorn because I'm a black male wearing a MAGA hat. I can't be real. That's the whole point in that. I can't be real.
Yeah, Will, race traitor, you know, in that clip, you know, they're calling you a race traitor. They are panicking. They're in a frenzy, and your film is very important in the violence that it also shows, because that's how frightened they really are. But the things that they're saying to you, there's a lot of hatred there. They're losing political power, correct?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I want to help them lose that political power. I've been doing I guess I call it a campaign called Vote Dem Out. It's DEM for Democrats, votedemout.org. And I've been pushing that for almost 2 years now, because it's always been the Democrat Party that's always been against black people. It's the Democrat Party that want to keep fathers out of the household in the black community. It's the Democrat Party that's always trying to separate us if we're male or female, or based on religion, or based on culture. It's always the Democrat Party that's always the aggressors in everything. For example, back in the 30s and the 40s, 50s, and 60s, it's always been the Democrat Party that's been either running the KKK, trying to attack black people, and out in the streets, they would hose black people down with water hose. And just like today, it is the Democrat Party that's on the uprise attacking white people, specifically if you're a white male and you're a Christian, conservative white male. They are really attacking them. For example, that's why we're seeing what we're seeing with Kavanaugh and Donald J. Trump being attacked the way they are.
Thank you, Will. And look, you know, you're a very profound thinker, Will. The video, the film shows it, what you're always saying, and on our program, you really understand the left, Will, and it's great to have you on our side. And when you point out some of these things, and you talk about religion, you talk about Christianity, and during that interrogation session, and all of our viewers have got to go watch this film on YouTube, Black in America, by Will Johnson, and he stars in it. But during that interrogation session, they say to you, renounce Christ. The Democratic Party will save you. We are your religion. And I was like, wow. Because that is the essence, Will. Because the left has made themselves God. They reject God. They reject Jesus Christ. We're the gods. We're going to be your God. Can you talk about that? Because this is the essence of our political battle.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's not just Christianity. They do it with every single religion. The reason why I say Christianity, because I consider myself a Christian. But they do it to they do it to Muslims as well, because you know for a fact how they keep saying that, you know, the only reason why they're going for Donald Trump and Muslims and are acting like they're supporting Muslims is because they know for a fact that Muslims would throw gay people off of buildings, but then they turn around and act like they support the Muslim community. But the only reason why they do that is because of some of the statements that Donald Trump, our president, has made.
Yeah.
But in this film, the short film, Black in America, I am who I am. And I said because of Christianity and in this nation, especially in this nation, and that's the one I can really talk to the most because I live in America. In this nation, they do not like Christians. The DNC took a vote should they reject God or not? And overwhelmingly, they said, yes, reject God. They took a vote and removed God from their DNC. I also did a short report. Can Democrats be Christians? And the answer is no, because if Satan went to talk to the Democrat Party, the DNC, they would give Satan an applause for everything that he's saying. And a lot of people don't realize it because they don't want to put two and two together.
Will, thank you so much. Just before we go, your thoughts on everything happening with Kavanaugh? It looks like the left is just in a ferocious frenzy. They're completely in a diabolical gutter now in terms of what they're doing to the people that they're terrified of, right?
Oh, absolutely. You have people like Cory Booker coming out saying that Kavanaugh should still be rejected, even if they find him innocent. See, the Democrat Party, they are afraid of losing their power. The way they're attacking Kavanaugh as a man, and it doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, or green or yellow, as a man, we are under attack in this country by the Democrats because they're using women to attack men. They don't want men to be men. And that's the reason why we're seeing this attack on Kavanaugh, President Trump, men that they no longer want men to be men. So I just heard the FBI has completed their investigation. And now Mitch McConnell has put out a tweet a couple of days ago talking about it. And now today they're going to vote on the floor for Kavanaugh. Today is a phenomenal day to see what's actually going to happen.
Absolutely, Will. And I think, well, there's a lot of things happening here. I will say this, that I don't think Kavanaugh is a person that would just cheer with enthusiasm at the thought of unborn babies being killed in the womb. Whenever I see even the thought of Roe versus Wade being questioned, whenever there's even the possibility that unborn babies will not be killed in the numbers of the millions and that maybe it'll slow down, leftists that I know, they begin to foam at the mouth, and sometimes the eyes go to the top of their head, and some of the leftists I know, their head even turned around 360 degrees. Is this a part of it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. We are in a spiritual war, and I truly believe the Democrats, the left, have sold their souls to Satan. And we are in this battle all together. You're absolutely right. Their heads, their eyes roll back, their heads spin, and they're afraid that he's going to go in there and overturn Roe versus Wade because it's a lot of money. You know, you saw the video clip where the two ladies approach Flake in the elevator. To me, that was a total setup. What were the odds of CNN just happened to be there with the cameras? And come to find out, one of the ladies actually worked with George Soros. Yeah. And not only that, she's big advocate in the abortion clinics. Yeah. So we're talking multi-million, if not billions of dollars at stake right now. And the Democrat Party is right there along with it. They're complicit with the whole act of killing the unborn child.
Absolutely. I think we would agree that, of course, the selfishness, the political power, the economic power, the money, but also in and of itself, the left revels in the taking of human life, especially unborn babies. We can spend another hour on that. But now to wrap this program up, Will, thank you very much. Tell everybody where they can see Black in America.
So if you go to uniteamericafirst.com and you just click on the YouTube link, it'll take you directly to it. And that's uniteamericafirst.com.
I like the film very much, Will, and I didn't know. I see a little bit of a Steven Seagal, Chuck Norris, Stallone, Schwarzenegger in you. Is this possibly a new career move, maybe?
I don't know. I like doing that short film and other short films like that because I want to do it to get the message across. Yeah. Because, you know, I do my broadcast and I talk to different people and I bring on guests and stuff, but I like to do the short film to be really creative about it And if you notice, I don't know if you noticed, but YouTube and Facebook and the rest of them have really been suppressing this short film because they do not want the masses to see it.
Absolutely. And you know, Will, the torture scene where you're suffering and they're hitting you, you know, I think that's more profound than a lot of people will think at first, because there really is so much suffering by dissidents and people who want to dissent under totalitarianism. So I think that was very powerfully done. Tell us about votedemout.org.
Yeah, so votedemout.org. If you go to votedemout.org, it will tell you, you can find out who is running for political office in your state, your local city area. And there's also a link there, which is very important. If you have not registered to vote, you've got to register to vote. So it has all the information, and it's really simple. If you go there, it's really simple. It shows you who's running. You can get information on who's running in your local state and city.
You know, Will, I will say that a lot of times throughout my life, I'm always studying the enemy. CNN, MSNBC, I read leftist literature, I watch leftist television. For the first time, the last week or 2 weeks, what they're doing to Kavanaugh, I actually couldn't even put it on. It hurts me so much to see this evil. And one thing I'm praying for to Jesus is, do you think that there will be, I've heard a lot of Democrats even saying that they're so disgusted with this that they're going to go over to Republicans. Do you think that Americans, even independents and Democrats, that so many people are so disgusted with how diabolical the Democrats have become that there is a greater hope for the midterms? Yes,
I actually do. I don't know if you're aware, but this October, on the 26th, the 25th, the 26th, and the 28th, there's a movement called Walk Away. And there's going to be thousands upon thousands of people there. And the mainstream media, they do not want to talk about it, but they won't have a choice but to talk about it when so many people show up. And what it is so many people that are considered themselves Democrats walking away from that party, because that party is not the party for the American people. All they want to do is control the people and keep the power that they have. And they're about to lose it, in my opinion.
And in terms of hashtag walk away, Brandon Strzok, thank you for everything that you're doing. What a great man. Thank you, Kanye West, for everything that you're doing. Candace Owens. And there's a man by the name of Will Johnson. Thank you what you're doing, Will. We wish you all the luck and strength in the coming days, weeks, and months.
Thank you so much, sir.
But Will, you know, one thing before we go, you've really got to stop beating around the bush and saying what you really think.
You know, they actually put me in Facebook jail for 30 days for doing that very thing, you know.
Okay. God bless you, my friend. Thank you.
They put me in Facebook jail for 30 days for being a free thinker.
Right. The Facebook gulag. Will Johnson, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Everybody check out Will Johnson, his film Black in America. Also go to votedemout.org and unite America first. We'll see you soon on the Glazov Gang. Good night.